Hey guys, John here. How you doing? I feel like I wear this shirt in a lot of videos. Oh well. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the first episode of the new Disney Channel original series, Secrets of Sulphur Springs. Just aired earlier tonight. Now, let me just full disclosure here. What I'm going to be talking about is the episode when I guess the literal first episode, like 22, 23, 25 minute episode, whatever, that was aired, that they put on their YouTube channel. I'm having a little problem with my TV right now, so I wasn't able to watch it on the TV. I can't, like, record it, DVR it. Can't really get to on demand either, so. What I had seen earlier was apparently it was supposed to be a 63-minute multi part premiere, so this is just me talking about, I guess, what is maybe the first part of that. I don't know, but yeah, the episode that I'm talking about, it's the premiere episode's called "Once Upon a Time," and that's just what I'm getting my thoughts on because that's all I have access to right now. I tried to see if there's more on the YouTube channel, can't find it, so that's what I've got. Okay. One interesting fact that I remember hearing about this series is that it was originally supposed to be on Disney Plus when they first announced it, which I can see because definitely something that's a little different out there for the Disney Channel. But I think it fits well with it. I'm sure they made some changes, toned down some of the, maybe stuff that was a little more adult. But I could see it work on this channel well. So first thing, this is a good first episode. I enjoyed it. I think I was looking forward to it, and it pretty much gave me what I wanted. I definitely see a lot of potential here, and I'm gonna keep checking the show out if I have the ability to. Okay, so this is basically a kind of a new horror mystery show. I said recently in a update video, future of my channel video, this is something that seems to take in some inspiration from like Stranger Things to make it more for kids, and I definitely see some of that. This goes for a little bit more kind of typical, kind of like family moves into like a haunted house kind of story. At least the premise is a little more typical. What they do with that, kind of interesting. So we open in a scene on this young girl who is running during the day, and she's running through the woods. Right here, we see like this interesting kind of variety of shots, which gives kind of a more interesting visual aspect to it. There's like a POV shot from her point of view, extreme close up of her face and her eyes, low angle shots, interesting score playing in the background. Makes it an interesting kind of opening scene, gets your attention. Definitely more kind of visual variety and effort put into the technical aspects than something like you're obviously going to see more so than on like a sitcom, like I don't know, Liv and Maddie or something, which is a show I like, by the way. um, then we cut to the night, which I guess is years later. Yes, 30 years later. Now we see these two kids or a couple kids. Actually, no, it's three kids going to check out this house, and inside they see someone screaming, a girl screaming. They think it's this girl who's part of the mystery, the girl from the previous scene. Her name is Savannah. And what we actually, it turns out they saw is one of the younger girls as part of a pair of twins of this family that moved in there, the Campbells. And we meet the main character in a moment, whose name is Griffin. If he's our protagonist of the show, and he's this new kid, it's kind of this sort of somewhat typical thing where it's like family moves to a new place, kid doesn't want to be there. At one point, his mom says that she would like go back to where they came from, Chicago, in like a second. And if I get a little more into that, he's a bit of a bland character, but interesting enough to follow. Hopefully, he'll get some more development and personality later on. But he's fine. The actor who plays him pretty good. So he's got his parents he lives there with, and his younger brother and sister. They're twins. We kind of meet the characters, and then we cut to the intro, which is a pretty cool intro opening credit sequence. Kind of creepy. Although there's this one shot where you see a newspaper talking about this old rumor with the girl Savannah, and the newspaper looks fake. But it's overall well made, opening sequence with some good music added to it. So the family's from Chicago, and you got this kid Griffin. It's his first day at his new school. He goes there, and we get kind of some of this stuff where he introduces himself to his class at the school, and he hears about this kind of rumor where the house he lives in is actually an old hotel, which is supposedly haunted. It's called the Tremont, and Griffin, the kid's dad, whose name is Ben, he's fixing it up. Uh, Now, like I said, there's this whole rumors where there's this girl, Savannah, this blonde girl who we saw at the beginning. She supposedly disappeared there 30 years ago in the year 1990. I believe it's 30 years ago. We'll assume takes place in 2020. Now, we kind of get a little piece of this as we go on, but the kid's dad lived there or stayed in the house at one point at the same time 30 years ago. So there's a connection with him and Savannah. And Griffin ends up meeting this new friend, a girl named Harper, who's a pretty enjoyable, likable character, funny, as I'd say more personality than they gave to his character. And the actress who plays her is pretty good. One thing that's kind of interesting is that they kind of portray her as being kind of very likable and charismatic and outgoing and fun, yet she doesn't seem to have any other friends before he comes along. And her and Griffin end up becoming friends, and she's going to be a major character. But it's weird, like, it kind of seems like the only reason, like, she doesn't have any other friends is just kind of so it's easier for Griffin to become friends with her, kind of a plot convenience kind of thing. There's this one scene, they talk in school, and then they end up, there's a scene that ends on kind of like a fake-out cliffhanger where I assume they would have the commercial break, where basically, Griffin ends up, falling off his bike onto the ground, and he kind of sees somebody above him and he thinks, oh, this is the girl Savannah. This is when he's in the woods where she was kind of last seen, she was last seen in the house, but also she was through the woods. And it's like this fake out cliffhanger where it's obviously this girl Harper. You can see enough of the outline of her. It's like dark, but you can see enough of the outline of her that it's clearly Harper, not Savannah. The two of them end up going back to the Griffin's house. Like I said, it's supposedly haunted. It used to be a hotel. And when they bring up the story about the girl Savannah to the family, the dad already knows about it because he has some involvement to it. And when they first mention her, he gets this kind of distressed look on his face. And when they're more talking about it, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. One of the excuses he gives, he doesn't want to scare the younger kids, but there's obviously a personal connection here. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I won't spoil what happens at the end of the episode. But I'm going to get into a decent amount of plots early on. Let's see what else. So there ends up being kind of like this power outage in the house, like that, which happens like kind of coincidentally, like immediately after. They say, oh, there's nothing scary with this house, there's nothing haunted with this house, and they're looking, and we get this kind of interesting development where, at one point first Griffin goes off with his dad to the attic to try to check something out, and then later he ends up going off with Harper to what I believe is the basement in the house. And they kind of find this secret room / secret tunnel in the basement, which eventually ends up leading them up some stairs, outside, back into the woods. We then cut to this, little after this, we cut to this conversation between the dad, Ben, which is, we learn later is short for Bennett, where him and the wife are having a conversation about, why did they just uproot them, their whole family. And he's like, I don't know, the line he says is, I can't explain it. All I can say is that I had to come back here. All I know is that I had to come back here. So, there's an interesting kind of mystery element to it. And then when we go back to Griffin and Harper, they think they see Savannah out in the woods. So they follow her, and then we get this kind of remake or redo of the same opening scene from earlier, and they follow Savannah, and I won't say what happens next, but it's definitely an interesting end to the story that ends on an interesting cliffhanger, and then they do one of those things where it's like, next time on Secrets of Sulphur Springs, I don't know what that's called, actually, kind of a preview, I guess, of the next episode. Like I said, this is all I saw of the one first 25-minute episode, but it's an interesting cliffhanger, ends at a nice kind of interesting moment that kind of gets your attention, wants you to keep watching more, and, I imagine this is going to be a show that's like an ongoing story, which is something that, like I said, different for Disney Channel, and I'm curious to see where it goes next. I imagine I get to discover for maybe 2 seasons and ending. I feel like maybe it's the kind of thing that's, doesn't necessarily have a ton of stuff to do, it's like a limited amount of story they can tell with it, But I'm interested. Like I said, I like. I do enjoy the characters. Griffin is a little bland, but I do enjoy him, and I'm interested to see where he goes. Um, yeah, the show was created by a woman named Tracey Tomson. I don't know what she's been involved with, but she seems like she knows what she's doing. The show has a good visual aspect to it. It's a very nice looking show, well lit and everything, well shot. The shots look good, interesting variety of the shots, nice editing, musical score, all that stuff. Well done, and the actors are good. Yeah, not perfect. Like I said, a few flaws that I brought up, but overall, yeah, I'd recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. And I guess I'm going to be checking out more. Hopefully, if I get the chance. And yeah, good show so far. All right, so I guess that's all I got to say. Thank you all for watching, and look out for some more reviews in the future. Bye.